Throughout the history of Hollywood, numerous actors and actresses have endured immense pressure behind the scenes. The golden age of Hollywood, known for its iconic films and stars, also harbored personal struggles that led some to tragic ends. In this exploration, we will delve into the lives of notable actors from that era who succumbed to their challenges by taking their own lives. Join us as we honor their memories by sharing their stories, the difficulties they faced, and the lasting impact they left on the world of cinema. Ross Alexander. Ross Alexander was an American stage and film actor who rose to prominence in the early 1930s. Born in Brooklyn, New York, Alexander began his acting career on Broadway before transitioning to Hollywood. He signed with Warner Brothers and appeared in notable films such as Captain Blood alongside Errol Flynn and A Midsummer Night's Dream. Despite his professional success, Alexander faced significant personal challenges. His first wife, actress Aleda Friel, died by suicide in 1935, which deeply affected him. Additionally, he struggled with his sexuality during a time when homosexuality was heavily stigmatized. Facing mounting debts and a declining career, Alexander became despondent. On January 2, 1937, at the age of 29, Ross Alexander died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound in the barn behind his Los Angeles home. His death underscored the immense pressures faced by actors during Hollywood's golden age, often hidden behind the industry's glamorous facade. George Reeves. George Reeves was an American actor best known for his portrayal of Superman in the 1950s television series Adventures of Superman. Born in Woolstock, Iowa, Reeves began his film career with a debut in Gone with the Wind as one of Scarlett O'Hara's suitors. Despite appearing in numerous films, he found lasting fame on television as the Man of Steel. On June 16, 1959, at the age of 45, Reeves was found dead from a gunshot wound at his home in Benedict Canyon, Los Angeles. His death was officially ruled a suicide, but the circumstances surrounding it led to widespread speculation. Present in the house at the time were his fiancée, Leonore Lemon, and some guests. Reports of inconsistent statements, lack of gunpowder residue tests, and possible romantic entanglements fueled theories of accidental shooting or foul play. Reeves had reportedly been despondent over being typecast and struggling to find work beyond Superman. The ambiguity of his death has been the subject of books and films, including Hollywoodland, 2006, which explored various theories. His passing remains one of Hollywood's enduring mysteries, reflecting the complexities behind the public personas of its stars. James Whale. James Whale was an influential British film director best known for his work in the horror genre during Hollywood's golden age. Born in Dudley, England, Whale directed classics such as Frankenstein, The Old Dark House, The Invisible Man, and Bride of Frankenstein. His films were celebrated for their atmospheric style and innovative storytelling. Later in life, Whale faced personal struggles, including the decline of his career and health issues following a series of strokes. Openly gay at a time when it was socially unacceptable, he grappled with societal pressures. On May 29, 1957, at the age of 67, Whale died by drowning in the swimming pool of his Pacific Palisades home in Los Angeles. He left behind a suicide note expressing his despair and desire for peace. Whale's death highlighted the challenges faced by artists dealing with personal identity and mental health issues. His legacy endures through his groundbreaking films, which continue to influence the horror genre and cinema at large. Don "Red" Barry. Don "Red" Barry was an American actor known for his roles in Western films and serials. Born in Houston, Texas, he earned the nickname Red for his fiery hair, and gained fame as the star of Adventures of Red Ryder throughout the 1940s. He became a staple in B-Westerns, portraying tough, sharp-shooting heroes. Despite his early success, Barry's career declined in the 1950s, and he faced personal issues, including alcoholism and troubled relationships. On July 17, 1980, at the age of 68, Barry died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound at his North Hollywood home. Police had been called to the residence earlier due to a domestic dispute with his estranged wife, Barbara. Barry's death underscored the personal struggles that can accompany fading fame and the difficulties some actors face in adapting to an evolving industry. His contributions to the Western genre remain part of Hollywood's rich tapestry of classic cinema. Gig Young. Gig Young was an American actor celebrated for his charming and sophisticated on-screen persona. Born Byron Ellsworth Barr in St. Cloud, Minnesota, he adopted the stage name Gig Young after a role he played in The Gay Sisters. Young received critical acclaim, winning an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for They Shoot Horses, Don't They? Despite his professional success, Young struggled with personal demons, including alcoholism and failed marriages. On October 19, 1978, at the age of 64, Young and his fifth wife, Kim Schmidt, were found dead in their Manhattan apartment. Investigations concluded that Young had shot his 31-year-old wife before turning the gun on himself in an apparent murder-suicide. The tragic event occurred just weeks after their wedding and shocked the entertainment community. Factors contributing to the incident may have included Young's declining mental health, substance abuse, and career frustrations. His death serves as a stark reminder of the hidden struggles that individuals may face behind their public personas. Philip Loeb. Philip Loeb was an American actor and educator known for his role as Jake Goldberg in the early television sitcom The Goldbergs. Born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Loeb was also a dedicated advocate for actor rights and a member of the Actors' Equity Association. During the 1950s, Loeb's career was derailed by the Hollywood blacklist, amid fears of communist influence in the entertainment industry. Accused of being a communist sympathizer during the McCarthy era, he was pressured to resign from the Goldbergs and struggled to find work thereafter. On September 1, 1955, at the age of 64, Loeb died by suicide in New York City's Taft Hotel, overdosing on sleeping pills. His death was a direct result of the professional ruin and personal despair caused by the blacklist. Loeb's story highlights the devastating impact of the Red Scare on individuals' lives and careers. His plight inspired the character Hecky Brown in the film The Front, bringing attention to this dark chapter in American history. Carl Dane. Carl Dane was a Danish-American actor prominent during the silent film era. Born Rasmus Carl Thelian Gottlieb in Copenhagen, Denmark, he immigrated to the United States and found success in Hollywood, with roles in films like The Big Parade and The Son of the Sheik. His tall, lanky appearance and comedic talent made him a popular character actor. However, with the transition to sound films, Dane's thick accent became a barrier, and his career declined sharply. Facing financial hardship and personal humiliation, he attempted various jobs, including running a hot dog stand near the studio where he once worked as a star. On April 14, 1934, at the age of 47, Carl Dane died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound in his Los Angeles apartment. His death highlighted the brutal impact of the industry's technological shifts on individual artists. Dane's story is a poignant example of how fame can be fleeting, and how rapidly changing circumstances can lead to personal tragedy. John Bowers. John Bowers was an American actor who achieved stardom during the silent film era. Born John E. Bowersox in Garrett, Indiana, he appeared in over 90 films, including notable works like Laura Jean and Robin Hood with Douglas Fairbanks. With the advent of sound in cinema, Bowers' career faltered, and he found it difficult to secure roles. On November 17, 1936, at the age of 50, Bowers reportedly sailed into the Pacific Ocean from Santa Monica, California, in a small boat. His body was discovered washed ashore days later, and it was presumed that he had died by suicide. Legend has it that Bowers' despair over his fading career led to his final act. His story is often cited as an inspiration for the character Norman Maine in A Star is Born. Bowers' tragic end reflects the harsh realities faced by many silent film actors who struggled to adapt to the new era of talking pictures. Paul Bern. Paul Bern was a German-born American film director, screenwriter, and producer at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, MGM. Born Paul Levy in Hamburg, Germany, he became a respected figure in Hollywood, known for his work behind the scenes. In July 1932, he married rising star Jean Harlow. On September 5, 1932, at the age of 42, Bern was found dead from a gunshot wound in his Beverly Hills home. A note was discovered, and his death was officially ruled a suicide. However, inconsistencies and the swift actions of MGM executives to manage the situation led to widespread speculation. Theories ranged from accidental death to murder. possibly involving Bern's previous common-law wife, Dorothy Millette. The scandal surrounding Bern's death was one of Hollywood's earliest and most enduring mysteries. It highlighted the lengths to which studios would go to protect their stars and investments. The true circumstances remain unclear, but the event significantly impacted those involved, especially Jean Harlow. Max Linder. Max Linder was a pioneering French actor, director, and producer who became one of the first international film stars. Born Gabriel Maximilien Loeviel in Saint-Loubès, France, he created the character Max, a dapper gentleman whose comedic escapades influenced future legends like Charlie Chaplin. Linder's career was interrupted by World War I, during which he was injured and suffered from health issues, including depression and the effects of gas exposure. Despite attempts to revive his career post-war, he struggled with personal demons. On October 31, 1925, at the age of 41, Max Linder and his wife, Hélène Peters, died in a suicide pact in a Paris hotel room. They left behind their 15-month-old daughter. The couple ingested a lethal dose of barbiturates and made cuts to their wrists. Linder's suicide was a culmination of his ongoing battles with mental health and the pressures of his profession. His death was a significant loss to early cinema, marking the end of a trailblazing career. George Sanders. George Sanders was a British actor renowned for his suave and cynical screen persona. Born in St. Petersburg, Russia, to British parents, Sanders moved to England after the Russian Revolution. He starred in films such as Rebecca, All About Eve, for which he won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, and The Picture of Dorian Gray. On April 25, 1972, at the age of 65, Sanders was found dead in a hotel room in Castellón de la Plana, Spain. He had overdosed on barbiturates, and a suicide note expressed his weariness with life. Sanders had been suffering from dementia and declining health, which contributed to his decision. His death brought attention to issues of aging and mental health among actors. Sanders's eloquent farewell reflected his characteristic wit and detachment. His distinct career left a lasting impact on cinema, with performances that continue to be celebrated. Charles Boyer. Charles Boyer was a French-American actor, famous for his romantic roles in films like Algiers, Gaslight, and Love Affair. Born in Figeac, France, Boyer became a major Hollywood star and was nominated for 4 Academy Awards. On August 26, 1978, just 2 days before his 79th birthday, Boyer died by suicide in Phoenix, Arizona, ingesting a lethal dose of barbiturates. His wife of 44 years, British actress Pat Patterson, had died from cancer only days earlier, on August 24th. Overcome with grief, Boyer chose to end his life rather than live without her. Their long and devoted marriage was well known in Hollywood. Boyer's death underscored the profound impact of personal loss and the complexities of coping with bereavement. His legacy as a leading man of classic cinema remains influential. Pete Duel. Pete Duel was an American actor recognized for his role as Hannibal Hayes in the television series Alias Smith and Jones. Born Peter Elstrom Duel in Rochester, New York, he began his career in theater and transitioned to television and film. On December 31, 1971, at the age of 31, Duel died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound at his Hollywood Hills home in Los Angeles. His girlfriend, Diane Ray, was present in the house at the time. Duel had been struggling with depression and alcohol abuse and had a prior arrest for driving under the influence. His sudden death shocked fans and colleagues. The producers of Alias Smith and Jones decided to continue the show with a different actor. Duel's passing highlighted the pressures of fame and the importance of mental health support for individuals in the entertainment industry. Brian Keith. Brian Keith was an American actor whose career spanned over 6 decades. Born Robert Alba Keith in Bayonne, New Jersey, he starred in films like The Parent Trap and television series such as Family Affair. On June 24, 1997, at the age of 75, Keith died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound at his Malibu home in California. He had been diagnosed with lung cancer and emphysema, causing severe health problems. Additionally, his daughter Daisy had died by suicide in April of the same year. Keith's death was a culmination of physical suffering and emotional pain from personal loss. His passing drew attention to the struggles faced by individuals dealing with chronic illness and grief. His contributions to film and television are remembered fondly by audiences. Richard Farnsworth. Richard Farnsworth was an American actor and stuntman whose career began in the 1930s. Born in Los Angeles, California, he worked as a stuntman before transitioning to acting. Farnsworth earned Academy Award nominations for Comes a Horseman and The Straight Story. On October 6, 2000, at the age of 80, Farnsworth died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound at his ranch in Lincoln, New Mexico. He was suffering from terminal metastatic prostate cancer, which caused excruciating pain and limited his mobility. Farnsworth's decision to end his life was influenced by his desire to avoid further suffering. His death highlighted issues related to terminal illness, pain management, and the choices faced by those with severe health conditions. Farnsworth's legacy includes a body of work that exemplifies authenticity and dedication to his craft. John Hall. John Hall was an American actor known for his roles in adventure films during the 1930s and 1940s. Born Charles Felix Locker in Fresno, California, he starred in movies like The Hurricane and Arabian Nights. On December 13, 1979, at the age of 64, Hall died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound at his North Hollywood home in Los Angeles. He had been diagnosed with incurable bladder cancer, leading to significant pain and declining health. Hall's death was a response to his terminal diagnosis and the suffering he was experiencing. His passing brought attention to the personal challenges faced by individuals coping with severe illness. Hall's contributions to cinema, particularly in the adventure genre, remain part of Hollywood's classic era.